So what is Midjourney version 6 is all about? Let's dive into it because maybe you're wondering how can I use Midjourney V6 or what is Midjourney V6 because I've been wondering. It's been introduced recently and what is the difference between going from 5.2 to 6.0? Yes, good questions. Let's look into this. We'll see to get answered those questions for you. So I'm already on Discord channel. I assume that at this point you already know what Midjourney is all about. You're just curious to understand what is version 6, what can it do for you, and we're gonna play a little bit around with it just to see what's possible here. And to start with, I will take you to the page here we can actually read about. So there's been many different Midjourney versions along the side, and the latest one I've been using the most is 5.2, and I actually still use it for one of my projects because there's actually style difference between going between version 5.2 to 6. The style is just different. It's using exactly the same prompt, but the result of the imagery is going to be quite different. And since I've already consistently been using 5.2 for the project that I'm doing, then we're sticking to that because going to version 6 is actually create more detailed, more somehow, at least for the projects that I'm doing, where we're creating scenery, it's going to create a bit more 3D effect of the scenery for this a bit cartoonish style. And that is, of course, it can be really great, but comparing to the consistency from the previous projects, then it actually matters a lot to keep that consistency. So yes, but 5.2.6 has been released already back into December 20th, but it was just alpha version and there was still missing a lot of updates. Now version 6 became a default model since February, and we are at the end of March. So it's been already on the market for a bit more than a month as a default version. So if you just start your Midjourney bot, it by default it will start as version 6. And version 6 also invited to some new opportunities. Um, some interesting details. What else does it say here? Yes, puppies, puppies. This is some of the imagery that you can get out of this. It's also possible to use style raw. Midjourney model version 6 can be fine-tuned with the style raw parameters to help achieve more photographic or more literal results. And here are some examples of V6 just regular compared to style raw if you add the style raw command at the end, where you can see it. uh, so this is V6 like this, and this is a bit a raw model of V6. So, and this is default model of another prompt here. And here how it look with the raw style. This is definitely much more photorealistic. Wow, look at this tree filled with different fruits. Wow. And here's a bit explanation about a 5.2 version. There's also Niji Model 6. And well, if you're curious about Niji style, it's a bit more this cartoonish style, a bit more resembling what I would say a Japanese cartoon style, perhaps. It makes it this playful, cartoonish adjustments to it compared to like this. You see, this is like more like a painting from the raw V6 model, and here we have a bit more simpler graphic and down to yeah, I definitely take it down to this a bit cartoonish style from Japanese cartoons anime style, something like that. Here again, it's a bit more like a classical painting look, and the Niji V6 will have this a bit more anime cartoonish look to it. So it's possible to play with both versions. You can just shift those in order to get the version that you're looking for and experiment with it. Maybe you'll find and be surprised which version of Midjourney creates best results for your projects. So how to switch modes? It's possible to just add those different variation at the end of the prompt. So dash dash V6 or V6 style raw, V5.2 Niji. Here's an example how it's done, but my favorite way to to shift between those different modes is actually go to settings. And let's just do here and let's see how it is. So this is a fresh window with Midjourney, and I'll say instead of imagine, I'll start typing settings, enter, enter, and when you press enter twice, you will have this, and this is all different options that you can tweak, right? And you can see my Midjourney is currently set up to version 5.2. That's the one I'm using the most. But going here, I can actually choose model 6. So let's do that. And just like that, the next prompt is going to be in a version 6. Let's try it. Let's try like imagine puppies. Let's see how that's gonna turn out. Imagine dash puppies, enter, and I'll just keep it simple here, and I'll see if it actually adds, if we can see the version. So it's working on it. It's working. It's working. Working. Whoop. We see we're getting an image here coming out, and as a result, we have puppies. It added style 50, and this is the result that we get in version 6. And we can also just for a sample, I'll show you how different it is if we create the same result in version 5.2. All right, so now the model is shifted, and I'll use the same prompt here. And here we can see now it actually added addition of version 5.2 at the end here. Let's see how that's going to be looking. But in general, some of the benefits with version 6 is definitely photorealistic imagery is what I've seen of the results looks stunning. And there's really great styles and results that you can get out of it. And of course, there's some new options that I added. For instance, being in a version 5.2, it will not be possible to use character reference. This new feature that is available now, C-ref or character reference. This is not available in version 5.2, so you need to be in the latest version 6 in order to achieve that. So keep that in mind. So look at this. Like this is version 5.2. It also creates beautiful results, right? Actually, I did the character here. Interesting why it did that. Here. But look, compared to this has more some kind of stylization added to it, more richness in the way it's shown. It really looks like a really amazing painting from some kind of museum from the wall that you would be looking at. That looks very cool. Um, so this is the way you can play around with this version 6. Uh, what else is interesting here to know? Well, what interesting is going to be is to dive into different prompts and to experiment with this, because you might get very different results going from those different versions going from 5.2 to 6. So I would definitely encourage you to play with it, try different versions, see what results you get. And of course, if you're looking for to play around with consistent characters and creating consistent character, version 6 is your go-to model. So go experiment, explore yourself. Feel free to share your results in the chat below. I would be curious to see what you are getting out of it. And yeah, feel free to ask if you have suggestions for further videos. I would also love to hear that. I might dive into exploration on depending on what the audience here is asking for. All right, thank you. I'll see you around.